being uncomfortable.
Yeah, I think we're always trying to avoid discomfort, aren't we?
We always try and seek comfort, not seek change, most of us.
Yeah, we look for the familiar so that we don't have to go through those moments of discomfort, which is normal also.
Well, it's a protection mechanism,
Yes.
isn't it? But it can be sometimes through the greatest discomfort come the greatest benefits and the greatest surprises in life.
And the greatest moments of growth that we all have to, we're growing every day. So we have to learn how to almost embrace those moments of discomfort that are inevitable in all of our lives anyway.
They are.
So that's what we're going to be talking about
in this week's episode of
Get Real with the English Sisters.
Thank you for joining us. Please remember to subscribe on YouTube and come and follow us wherever you get your podcasts, because we truly appreciate you all listening.
So much. Thank you very much.
I mean, the greatest discomfort, I'm just thinking of you, how much discomfort you had to go through to get your boys.
Oh my goodness me, definitely. There was a lot of discomfort there, physical, mental.
So much
with
worry.
So much worry. Oh, that was awful, yeah. Awful. It was a real moment of growth though as well.
Yeah, but it was a lot of suffering. There was a lot of physical discomfort because it was painful. Mental discomfort.
I think it probably...
Because you had this infertility journey, for those of you that don't know.
Yeah, definitely had a long infertility. We went through 4 rounds of IVF, me and my husband.
Miscarriages as
well. 3 miscarriages, all this long journey until I finally got my first son, and then the second little cutie pie came along easily and naturally. And it's like what all the, the elderly people were saying, oh, it's just because you're stressed. And I was so annoyed about that. Because I thought, physically I was okay because I was still really young and everything. I was only 26, 25 when I actually started this journey. But my husband had issues with varicose veins and things, and he had a low count, and so, which was a big surprise because at first they didn't even test the male,
because it was back in the day, wasn't it?
It was quite a while ago. And then one doctor in Italy, one doctor said, oh, let's do the check, the sperm check. That's what it was. Yeah. And he said, oh, it's actually low motility. Oh, wow. That was a bit... he was fine about it. It's not like he was really one of these old-fashioned...
No. He was perfectly supportive.
He was a perfect sweetheart. Yeah, he did every single possible thing we had to do, rushing around with all these little... Oh, my gosh. Yeah, it was a long journey. Any of you are going through it, I can appreciate what you're going through.
But it was so worth it, wasn't it?
It was definitely...
And he used to say, even if nothing comes of it, I'll know I will have tried my best.
Yes. For me, it was like, I'm going to do everything possible because I really wanted to become a mum. And it was something that I just sort of felt I really wanted to do. And so I just knew I would do everything possible. But then when I thought, this is my last try, when it was actually our last try, we tried this method called GIFT, which I thought was quite symbolic. It's like a gift, And I think that's when you put the two, the sperm and the egg inside the fallopian tube. First of all, they're in the test tube, and then they're both inserted into the fallopian tube. That was it. Yeah, I can't actually remember the technical term because we are talking about almost 30 years ago. But anyway.
And it was in Italy. They used to have Italian.
Yeah, that's why I'm getting a bit confused. But I remember it was called GIFT. And... and what was I saying?
So it was like a gift, wasn't it?
It was a gift, yeah, and that actually worked. And, and I got my first son through that. But while I was doing that, I was doing all the papers for adoption as well at the same time. We were going through all that process because I thought, either one or the other. And then I also wanted to adopt, and that also fell through because we did get a famous phone call in the middle of the night saying that we had a baby, and we had to go and do all the papers for that and everything, and then that fell through as well. That was very unlucky. all at the same time. So, I mean, there was a lot of discomfort. There's a lot of growth that came from it as well. As a couple, as a human being, you know, it was a massive journey that I think if I look back, I would have said, could I sign not to go through it? I probably wouldn't want anyone to go through that.
You would have signed not to go through.
Definitely. So I think anyone would sign not to go through these things.
I don't think you choose to do them.
No, you don't choose it. It's just what life
But if
gives you at the
it's
time.
that or an alternative of saying, okay, I'm just not going to have children, then it can bring on us, unless you decide that you don't want them. You
Obviously,
don't want
there were
children.
loads of couples that were going
and
through.
if you're calm with it and happy and you've made a good choice, but if you're going to resent, if your future self is going to look back and say, I wish I had gone through that discomfort, I wish I had made the effort. When it's too late, it's a shame, isn't it?
It is a shame, yeah. Obviously, you know, there are choices. There are choices, sometimes economical choices as well. I mean, it's hard. It's very, very hard. So I can appreciate any of you.
But I think it's like that with anything in life that's challenging, or there's the discomfort element to it.
Yeah.
You know, like even if you think if you're studying for something
Goodness
right now,
me, yeah.
you know, you go through such difficulties. Or like my daughter, she's a scientist, and she was telling me in science how much hardship there is, because first of all to get the funding, and then afterwards because a lot of the experiments, they don't go well, and then you can feel as a scientist, if you've wasted 4 years of your life or whatever trying to get results, and you don't get any results that are positive. But she said she wouldn't change a thing in the end, because that's what she loves doing, and she wants to make a difference, and she just goes for it and tries to make the differences she can.
It's going
Even
through
when
these
it's so
slow,
hard.
Yeah, and a lot of times, you know, what's involved is really slow and long. And we've spoken about infertility, which is really slow and long. And sometimes you have to wait for another 3 or 4 months before you can try again. And everything is like, but it's that kind of patience that's required as well. That teaches you certain things about, you know,
it teaches you so much.
It teaches you a lot, yeah. There's a lot about having patience, having to persevere, it's a bit like, you know, like the cast iron pan you bought.
Yes, I've just bought a cup because your son very kindly asked
he's
me
crazy
to get
about
the
cooking.
other son,
he's crazy.
your other son, a cast iron pan, and it was on offer. So I thought, okay, I should be getting a cast iron pan myself.
Yeah,
so I bought
heavy.
one for our house. So yeah, at first I was thinking it's heavy, and then I don't be such a weakling, I said to myself. If you can lift weights, you're going to be able to lift a cast iron pan. We've become so we made our lives so easy in our kitchens, with the dishwasher, with all this like food brought to our houses, or this self-prepared food. Everything's so easy. So having this heavy cast iron pan that you burn your hand on if you touch
you have to be.
I mean, I put it
so antique.
I put it in the kitchen behind the stove and just stared at it and oiled it. Then I read all the instructions, and it sounded like, you know, like this impossible endeavor. You have to cook it in the oven to season it with oil, and then you have to take it out. You're not allowed to soak it, which is your son has said.
No,
it's all a load of rubbish.
Yeah, he soaks it all the time. He says.
So now it seems easier, now that I've talked to your son about it. But before I was thinking, I'm going to give this a chance. It's going to live here for 1 week or 2, and then if it's too much bother, it's going to be passed on to your son. I thought I'd give it, you can have 2. But then I thought, why? Why have we become like so, like everything's so like...
Everything, if it's not easy, it's not
worth it.
If
it's not easy, it's like difficult. I mean, everything is so easy now. You go online, you can buy everything.
I am a bit like that. For example, like for Christmas, my son, again, who loves cooking, he was making the beef and Guinness pie. I mean, that when I saw, and the chicken and leek pie, the traditional English ones are actually super delicious. and you have to make the shortbread.
And they were absolutely amazing. I mean,
They're
they
amazing.
tasted
But when I
delicious.
saw that he started cooking at 9 o'clock in the morning and he like finished at 7 p.m. and I was looking at the state the kitchen was in, because he still lives at home,
Yeah.
so it's my home kitchen, but soon he'll be moving with his lovely girlfriend. But anyway, yeah, they're still at home. And I was thinking, gosh, I just don't have the patience for this.
No.
I mean, so I think each person has to put the amount of patience they have into a project or something that they really want to do. So we don't all have to have patience for one certain, like, I don't think I've got patience to cook like that for 9 hours.
Well, you're not passionate about it, are you? But
Exactly.
you can become passionate,
I can
because I
learn.
didn't think I could learn about this pan. And then I remembered Mum used to have one as well, cast iron one, that she was
Yes.
always scrubbing, and the rust would come on it if you didn't look after it.
You have to look
And
after
then
it.
I was
yeah.
thinking how rust has got iron in it or something. I don't know, but there's benefits to this. And it's
Well, the
also,
cast iron pan
well,
actually
I
gives off
am-
iron.
I'm actually
Yeah.
annoyed about the fact that the other pans that we bought have lasted
No.
like a year, and then they go into landfill. It's disgusting.
It is disgusting.
So,
and they're Teflon
yeah.
pans, yeah, apparently they're
So-
not.
I'm a bit sick of all of this.
Yeah, me too. I will change now. I mean, it is gradually.
But
I'm
we
gonna.
don't have to do it all straight away. It's been in the kitchen for a week. Yesterday I cooked chicken on it. It got stuck. Now I have to do what your son said.
You have to season it with
I'm
the
going to
seed
season
oil.
it and with the seed oil, put it in the oven, and then look after it, make it nice and shiny and black.
Yeah, and then see how it comes out.
And it'll probably be delicious.
It may
And
not
hey,
be delicious the first time,
No, but it's like everything. I mean, even when you get your first love, it's not always easy, is it? The first intimate, relations you have with your
Oh, no.
with your loved ones aren't easy. Nothing
they're
is
not.
easy.
They're not.
Everything is hard at first. Most things.
most things are hard.
You
when
have to
first-
actually learn how to do them, or they're difficult, and you have to go. You
have to go through the process.
Yeah.
You have to go through that discomfort. It's a cast iron pan. It's really heavy. You have to wash and
Do you
scrub
know
it, and
that you
then.
have to learn how to do things with patience.
Well, yes. Are you joking? It's like riding a bike. You don't just get on it and go off. You fall down, don't you?
The other day I watched the cutest little video about rats that were but they were the scientists had them in their
Right.
lab, and they gave them little cars to drive in
Oh, I think I've seen that one.
with
Oh
the
my
little
God.
pedals. They had two, so they were like automatic
That
little
does sound cute.
automatic little vehicles, and it was an actual scientific experiment. And but obviously they were treated very nicely and everything. There's very strict controls on it, and they would actually choose to drive the car to get their treat rather than just walk over and get it. They would go a longer route to go in the car because they actually enjoyed it, and then they measured their serotonin levels and everything, and they got dopamine and serotonin from driving.
But what would the little paws like
They
on
had
the...
they were like little square vehicles that they would hop into, and they had like two little paw things that they would press with
And
one
they would
paw.
enjoy that more than walking.
They would choose that to get the treat because they knew that in the end,
Was it
when
faster?
No, it took longer.
Oh, wow. That's quite
So
surprising.
I mean, if it takes longer for rats to get to their treat because they choose to drive, maybe it's a lesson for us as well. How long, the things that take longer, the slow cooking, the things that take like the chicken
Yes,
broth that take
yeah.
hours to make.
I've already got
Obviously-
the chicken broth on.
I know. I mean, because we're here in the studio at
Yeah.
home today. And you
At
can,
home,
but
I've got the
otherwise
kitchen
you've
over
got-
there.
We've got the slow cooker now where you make
Yeah,
it. in.
yeah, that's true.
And then you can leave the house for that. You don't have to be there. But I think there is lessons to be learned in the patience and the longer. And I think we do become very impatient now because
That's
everything
what
is
what my
so-
mum, my son was saying. Mum, why do you care whether it takes 8 hours? You just leave it on really low and you go off.
Yeah, but we're always scared it's a fire.
I wouldn't. No, you have to be in the house,
Yeah,
obviously.
I know in the house, but
Yeah. I'm not like, but I'll put, I mean, like now,
to me, you have to go and check
check
on
it every now and again. Yeah, I feel that way too. But anyway, this is about cooking. But there are other
I remember our
things.
auntie in Spain when I went to live there for a bit when I was a student. I went to live with our auntie in Spain, and she would put on her garbanzos, which are like the chickpeas, in the morning. Then she'd put them on a low flame, and then she'd go off to the market. We'd go together to the market and buy all her stuff in the
Her
local
veggies and
everything,
things,
and then
yeah.
come back and she would just leave it on. I used to say, "Isn't that dangerous, Auntie?" And she'd say, "No, it's fine."
Well, I think it's a little bit dangerous because
So do I.
some of the water or the soup can fall out
And the
and
flame,
the flame will turn off. But then I think
gas still leaks.
I don't
out.
think it does leak. I think the cookers have some
The-
kind of a system.
the new cookers do, but hers didn't.
So
Hers
her,
was slightly dodgy.
yeah, the risks.
But they used to think, no, I have to have, this is what we do, that housewives in those days.
Yeah, that is true. That's what they would
No, I
all
mean,
do.
now they have induction tops and things that just turn off if there's nothing on them anyway, so they're not dangerous.
No, but this is just to say that yes, I mean
It's
we've
worth the
come
effort.
far, haven't we? And perhaps some of the things that we used to do were slower before, and they
It's
were.
time to go back to them.
I think so, a little bit. Yeah, I mean, not saying we want to go back and washing in the river.
No.
Like it's nice to
Or
have.
hand washing. I like my dishwasher. I
Yes,
love it.
or hand washing, but sometimes you have to, like that.
But this
pan
cast
you
iron
bought-
pan, you can't wash it by. You
it's
can't
not-
wash it in the dishwasher. It's not allowed.
So that's going to be a little challenge for you. You have to wash it by
I
hand.
get my
yeah.
husband to wash that.
Yeah. Good idea. It also
No,
brings in
I did enjoy, mind you, I did enjoy putting the oil on it and seeing it all nice and
shiny and black. Yeah. Yeah, that is a nice part.
Anyway, let us know what you think. Have you had things that have maybe been very difficult but worth the effort in the end? And maybe it's time for all of us to go back to a slower way of living where we enjoy things and we have a little bit more patience for things. That
Yes, definitely.
maybe not such instant gratification and instant rewards.
Yeah, and remember, if you are going through a period of discomfort, know that all this is super valuable feedback for you, for your life and for the lives of other people that you've got. This is really is what's making you. It's your
It's building you.
it's
isn't it?
building. It's all these building blocks that go, and you think, I don't want these building blocks. I don't. I'd rather not have them. Yes, I can understand that, but in the end,
Makes you stronger.
it does make you stronger. They're really important for you, and they will change who you are. And if you appreciate them,
Yeah.
but appreciate the process. I know it's difficult, but
Well, sending you lots of love and smiles from
From
the
the
English sisters. Bye.
bye bye.
Bye-bye.